Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are joining us from. We are truly glad to have a mixed audience with us today. We have professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, career builders, leaders, and individuals simply seeking clarity in these challenging times. I hope it's not too late to wish you Happy New Year. So I say Happy New Year to you all. I am Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature special guests who are subject matter experts that helps us to share insight into the topic of the day. And we have one of such today with us. So you are most welcome. We are glad you are able to join us. As we begin a new year, which is already getting old, it's getting to the end of the first month, many people come with hope, expectations, and resolutions. But let's be honest with ourselves. Hope alone is no longer enough. The Nigeria economy had changed and keeps changing in so many respects. We have the tax reform, which is the latest of such changes. We have political alignment and realignment. Don't forget, this is the penultimate year to the election year. So a lot of activities going on in that space. And so we also have to think, plan, and act in line with changes that is ongoing. A new year doesn't automatically mean new results. In a changing economy like ours, progress requires reset of mindset, strategy, and systems. Today's conversation is titled Resetting for Results: How Nigerians Can Rebuild Momentum in Changing Economy. So we're discussing how we Nigerians can rebuild momentum personally and in our businesses despite the economy uncertainty. This topic is timely, strong, and deeply relatable to the current economic realities. This is not just a conversation and should not be looked with fear. It is a conversation about focus. It's about pausing long enough to reassess what is working, what is no longer working, and what must change if this year will produce better results than the last. Many Nigerians are working harder than before, yet feeling more exhausted, more stretched, and sometimes more uncertain. And what that tells us is that something important, that is, effort without alignment does not always produce results. Today, our goal is simple. We want to help you gain clarity, practical insights, and renewed momentum, whether in your personal life, your career, or your business. To that extent, our key objective for this session is for our audience to understand why old strategies would or may not work for them again. We want them to be able to identify what needs resetting personally, professionally, financially, and in other areas. And we hope through our guests, the sharing of experience, they will learn practical steps to regain momentum, feel empowered, not overwhelmed. For me, this topic is personal because I believe that with the right mindset and strategy, uncertainty does not have to mean stagnation. We have quite a lot of probing questions that will help us to get greater, insights into all this. We will go on a short break right now. We ask you to please remain connected. We'll be right back. Thank you once again for joining us.
In a world where financial decisions shape the future, clarity, trust, and expertise matter more than ever. At Cedrus Group Africa, we go beyond transactions. We build pathways to sustainable wealth, business growth, and lasting financial security. With Cedrus Trustees, we protect legacies and preserve wealth across generations. With Cedrus Capital, we unlock opportunities and deploy capital with purpose. And with Cedrus Microfinance Bank, we empower communities, entrepreneurs, and small businesses with access to inclusive financial solutions. At Cedrus, we don't just respond to change, we anticipate it, adapt to it, and help our clients thrive in it.
For inquiries, call 09061558213.
Cedrus Group Africa, your trusted partner for growth, protection, and financial freedom.
You're welcome back. Our guest is waiting patiently for us to beckon on him. He has been with us since the beginning of the show. But before I call upon our guest, permit me to share with you a hint about who our guest is that is going through his profile. So to help us to unpack this important topic, we are honored to have as our special guest for today, Mr. Adeniyi Olubusayo, FCA. So that tells you that is my professional colleague. Mr. Adeniyi is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Cedrus Group Africa. Cedrus Group Africa is a diversified financial services group with interests in wealth management, trusteeship, investment advisory, asset management, and microfinance banking. Mr. Adeniyi Olubusayo, FCA, provides overall strategic direction for the group with responsibility for driving growth, strengthening governance, and ensuring strong operational and regulatory performance across all subsidiaries. A seasoned finance and investment professional, Mr. Adeniyi brings deep experience in financial services, capital markets, structured finance, and institutional wealth solutions. He has led the design and execution of investment strategies, built resilient financial structure, and guided organizations through complex regulatory and market environment. Under his leadership, Cedros Group Africa has successfully expanded its platform, secured additional operating licenses, and evolved into an integrated financial service group positioned for sustainable growth. Mr. Adeniyi is widely regarded for his disciplined leadership style, strong governance orientation, and commitment to ethical business practices. He has championed robust risk management, compliance, and internal control frameworks while promoting innovation, talent development, and inclusive finance. Through his vision and execution, he continues to position Cedros Group Africa as a trusted financial partner delivering long-term value to clients, stakeholders, and the broader economy. He has worked closely with individuals and organizations navigating growth, uncertainty, and transformation, particularly in challenging economic environments like ours. What makes today's conversation valuable is that our special guest for today brings not just theory, but lived experience and practical insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in making welcome our special guest for Connect with Comfort show today, Mr. Adeniyi Olubusayo, FCA. Mr. Adeniyi, thank you so much for joining us today. We are delighted to have you.
Thank you very much, madam. My doyen in the industry, thank you so much. Distinguished participants, thank you so much for having me here. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much. Without further delay, we will dive into the conversation, but just for the audiences to be reminded that they can throw in their questions anytime they want. Either questions, observation, and contributions are welcome as well while the show is on. I will take all in the same line. So you are welcome once again, Mr. Adeniyi.
Thank you, madam.
So the first question is, from your professional experience, how would you describe the changing economy Nigerians are dealing with today?
Okay. Thank you very much once again. We're all in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria, and I mean what we are experiencing. We're seeing rising cost of living, change in policies, tax reform, creating uncertainty all around, and also people are actually facing a predictable situation to a volatile situation within the economy. And what we could actually summarily describe it as is like a psychological touch or change, which actually make people to be tired, are more cautious, and then risk averse.
Thank you very much. That is an area where your company also comes through for Nigerians.
Yes.
Why are many people working harder but still feeling stuck or exhausted?
Okay. What I see today is that a lot of people are just reacting without actually realizing that changes is permanent to life, because what is permanent to life is change. And when change comes, people should adapt to change. But in most cases, you see that people are just working, adding A to B, or even trying other things. rather than actually sitting to plan and then put a strategy in place through which they could actually navigate the change.
Okay. So means they are not aligning their efforts with
Yeah,
their goal,
yeah,
so to say. Because
yes, sir.
okay, when we say resetting, which is element of the topic, what should people reset first?
Well, for any resetting activity, it starts right from the mind. And so the mindset has to change. Let me just take, for example, Nigerians are used to free things. And we have a government in place now that is saying that, yes, if we need to actually build a future for ourselves, we need to actually start paying for those things. Take, for example, the electricity we consume. Yes, I've traveled far and wide and I've seen that the cost of electricity is so high outside there. But yeah, we enjoyed it freely, but now we need to pay for it. So the first is actually to change our mindset from enjoying free things to paying things. So the first thing that we need to do is to change our mindset. And then when the mindset set changes, we move to actually putting strategies in place before we talk about the system that we adopt the strategy in.
Okay, so it's important for us to first change our mindset because that
Yes,
is
sir.
where it starts from.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So the importance of that, of course, is to be able to make realistic assumptions because, like you rightly said, those era of free things or free bits are gone. So we have to really adjust our mind to the reality of the moment so that we also can align. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. What outdated habits or assumptions should Nigerians let go of in regards your response to the last question?
Okay. The first thing is to actually let go of what the past is. That is, we need to actually stop waiting that things will come to how it was in the past. Things will normalize. Across the globe, changes are taking place. And the government actually have to follow in terms of reforms that will actually better our country as well, and then that will make us to be in alignment with global changes. And so people have to let go. Number one, things that were happening in the past will no longer happen. It's no longer business as usual. So we should let go of that mind. And why we let go of that, we should just actually put ourselves within the changes that has actually happened and then strategize as to how to navigate it. Then number two is that people should no longer depend on only one source of income. There should be multiple stream of income. If you ask Nigerians that have jackpot, a lot of them are doing 1, 2, 3 jobs together. So Nigerians should actually think as well within that scope that well, if inflation is affecting my salary, then I should have something to actually pushing it elsewhere. Then another thing is that we should plan ourselves to be more productive rather than actually confusing business with productivity. And I'll give you personal example. As a CEO, 2 years ago, I went farming, and for the past 2 years, I've been eating the corn from my farm. I don't buy corn on the street any longer, and also I produce gari now, so I go to the farm to bring food to the house. So we should actually depend on multiple income, and also we should avoid unnecessary spending. Um, the era of wastefulness has actually gone. So those are the um, assumptions. So we should actually be able to measure what we do with the result that we get from it. Yeah.
Fantastic. One key point there is that we should not be expecting that, oh, things will normalize in our own mind the way we used to have them, that it will come back to that, and we're still waiting for that. It's not going to happen. So
It's
we
not
better
going to.
start getting adjusted to reality and not and see how it can work for us.
Yeah.
So you giving a beautiful example, uh, doing some little farming in your corner, and that can even be expanded if you find it beneficial to a larger scale. Those
Yeah.
are the things that we need to look at when we are saying that, okay, even if you say this source of income right now is not meeting up with your demand because of inflation and this, then look at other means of getting other income to augment. So let's not just fold our hands. The habit of where things we normalize, that is part of what we are asked to petition, because we are looking at what bad habits and procrastination, that okay, well, we will soon, they'll be tired of it, they will soon come back to the exercises. No, it's not going to happen. Let
Yeah.
us see how we make best use of whatever is available for us, even within the uncertain period, to
Yeah.
make sure that we make headway for ourselves. Thank you very much for that beautiful response.
Yes.
Now, if, because you have given a bit of example that relate to SME,
Yeah.
can you speak to the SME in terms of even this additional source of income? They are already engaged in business, quite all right, but how they can also look inward as well as reduce costs in order for them to stay afloat, because those are the most challenged sector or
Yeah.
set of people in this economy right now.
Thank you very much, madam. One of our key focus in Cedros Group Africa is to actually support the SMEs. And when I look at what is happening across the globe, and most especially Africa and Nigeria, the largest contributor to our GDP are the SMEs. And so a lot of work needed to be done by the SMEs. And from the question, what I would just say in a nutshell is that SMEs needs to scale up. And ways to scale up is actually to start streamlining what is profitable and forget what is not profitable. And ways by which this could be done. A lot of SMEs have good potentials to support this economy better. But the fact remains that so many of them are unstructured. There is need to be structured. There is need for governance. There is no discipline. There is need for discipline. And so, by way of advice, what we tell the SMEs is to actually contact professionals who could actually support them in structuring properly and then helping them to put their business plan in place, because so many of them had as funding needs, but the ways by which you could actually have access to such is to actually have structured business, and advisors will do that as just a little fee for them. That's my response to that.
Okay, you've said it all. Like those who lack the just a minute. Those who lack the experience should actually um, contact maybe consultants to help them to, because sometimes you find some people, they are so busy but it's not really resulting in productivity.
Yeah.
So their business is not measured in productivity, and some of them they lack the technical know-how of pricing, how to do the appropriate pricing, and sometimes letting it go, not like, yes, it's my business, I'm the only one that can decide what we hold, when other factors are dictating otherwise.
Yeah.
So for the SMEs, the resetting for them is very important, that they need to have the know-how, or in a case where they don't have the know-how, they need to reach out to those professionals that have the know-how to guide them through, because this is an era that everything has to be done properly. This
Yeah.
even tax reform that is making everybody jittery, we do not need to be fearful of it if we are well prepared for compliance.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to get well informed and to
Yes.
know what to do. So, and the uncertainty is there's no running away from it. How do we break through even within the uncertain uh, situation? So that is something that the SMEs really need to uh, give a thought to. Thank you very much for shedding light on
Yes.
that. What practical steps can individual take, let's say in the next 30 to 90 days, for instance, in regards this research and gathering momentum?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let me chip this in from your last response to or your reaction to my response. Um, for every uncertainty, there are so many opportunities. So uncertainty, because even in the word uncertainty, there is certainty there. So there are so many opportunities. So within the question to say what people should focus on, most especially the individuals and the small medium enterprises. Number one is actually the discipline on the cash flow. I did an interview recently, and I was talking about um, income that comes into our hand. The first is to think about the survival and the sustainability of the business. In most cases, we always think about what we want to consume today, but today is almost gone. The future is facing us. So we need to actually first think about the future. And so cash flow discipline is very, very important for anyone who want to actually stabilize within this uncertain situation. Number two, how do we retain those people that we serve? How do we add more value? In Citrus Group Africa, for
Customers.
example, when we started a few years back, we discovered that we are not actually getting the right value that we need to. We went into collaboration, and then the expertise we do not have, we had it in collaboration, and we were able to actually navigate through. And within that, we created more value, and we are delivering to expectation of our customers. And so also, pricing is very, very key to any product. The pricing must reflect the reality. We should not actually do things in the way it's done before, because there are so many elements, there are so many factors now that are actually that needed to be considered before we do our pricing. And so the right pricing is very important, and also good record keeping. Good record keeping, very, very important. Revenue is important, is of today, but cash flow is what will actually help us in surviving. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That, yeah, brings to mind when you said once you start making money, think of the future rather than what you want to consume. So we should position ourselves to lifestyle driven, from lifestyle driven to value driven,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that is the greatest of discipline for you to grow your business, because
Mhm.
you have to be focused. If you think you have arrived, there are other demands or challenging growth demands that will be facing the business. And importantly, not to even kill the business. You need to think of survival, sustainability of your business and all that. So it's very key. The word discipline that you mentioned is very key for us to bear that in mind. And then to also learn to set realistic short-term goals. For some businesses, you may need to necessarily need to start small and work your way gradually up.
Mhm.
Set short-term goals that you can easily fulfill, then move up so that you are not discouraged along the line. This is very key. And the diversification of streams of income, we cannot overemphasize it even for businesses. If you are on monoproduct, that is just one product, anything that happens in that line easily affects your fortune. So you have to bear that in mind, the type of business you are in. So in the next 30 days, we've been advised by our guests, not only for business owners, even personal, for on our personal life. Let us carry what I call personal or business audit. Let's look inward and check within ourselves what has worked for us in the past. Can it still work now? Do we need to modify? Do we need to change? Do we need to jettison? So all those things are what it calls for when we are looking at what is the next, because January is already packing its load. So we should be futuristic. February, March, which is the first quarter, how do we make sure that we are still online with our goal for the year? So all that we need to do for the next 30 to 90 days is very crucial in speaking success to this year 2026. Let us start by conducting that personal or business audit to look at what we need to change. Which one are we going to strengthen or add to, or diversify altogether, depending on what the reality that is facing us calls for. Then the cost cutting that our guest mentioned is very important, because sometimes you have a business because the time when things were so high brings your cost to a high level, and you are thinking that there's no way I can sell below my cost or sell something without profit. Hey, we have to wake up and see how best to cut our losses short and make that right decision on time. So we need to set very realistic goal for ourselves. So the next question I would like to ask Mr. Adeniyi is, what should entrepreneurs and SMEs prioritize right now, given the situation in our economy? And I would say by extension, even in the world, because I don't think anybody is smiling right now, even in other parts of the world. Things are tight everywhere. So, what should entrepreneurs and small businesses, SMEs prioritize, or those looking out to pivot from one level to the other? What should they concentrate on now or prioritize?
Okay. Thank you very much. Um, we've mentioned the issue of cost cutting. We must actually reduce cost as much as possible. And then also we need to actually focus on what business line is profitable and the one that is not profitable. Um, I will summarize it under what I call the KISS model, the KISS. What is it that has worked for me? Keep doing. And what is it that I need to improve on? We look inward do our analysis, because it's very good that we actually do a lot of data gathering and then analyze, strategize, discuss internally what are those business opportunities that will actually work for us. Then what are those things we need to improve upon our efficiency in revenue generating, and what are the opportunities that are available. Let's actually focus, and then we'll get that. Then after that, the first S says, what is it that we line of business that is actually bringing down our revenue? What is that line of business that is not bringing in anything, and then keep on dipping your revenue? Stop such lines for now, and then concentrate on what new opportunities that could actually help in scaling up the revenue and cash flow. And also, what do we have as new opportunities? Let's start actually reaching out, and then making better returns. I think those are things that we need to focus on.
Okay. Before I react
And also
to,
capacity building. Sorry, ma. Capacity
sure.
building is very, very important. In capacity building, we will actually put ourselves in position. We'll position for whatever opportunities that actually are available for us. Capacity building is very, very important.
That is very key,
Yes, sir.
because I'll come back to your question, Biodi, but I just want to react to this response. In terms of capacity building, um, our skill set is key. Part of the audit we are talking about, we will know the skills where we need to get more skilling, uh, things that we need to get more skills on, those that we are lacking, the gap that we have established. But more importantly, for SMEs and entrepreneurs, I hear you repeating the issue of cost savings and cash flow discipline. You mentioned that before. It is very important. That's one of the priority, cash flow discipline. Because without cash flow, a good cash flow base, your business cannot thrive. You cannot seize opportunity that comes your way. It's very important. Customer retention, like our guest said, for you to be able to retain your customer, you must be pleasing them. Otherwise, they will go somewhere else. The retention and the value that you are offering to the customer is very key, in addition to your cost efficiency and the pricing that we have talked about before. These are things we should prioritize. Pricing must reflect reality. We cannot
Yeah.
overemphasize that. But another key thing that is very important now, even more than before, is record keeping. You know this this new tax act, the, be- the beginning of is beginning of wisdom for some people. We need
Yeah.
to start keeping good records.
Mm.
Otherwise, you can get hammered with something that we do not ask to vomit what we did not chew, in
Yeah.
the manner of speaking. So that is important, even personally, because everybody has to file annual tax returns now. But for businesses, it's even more important for you to claim reliefs and benefit and things that you set up against your revenue. You have to have records to back it up.
Yeah.
So, pointedly, cash flow discipline, customer retention and value, cost efficiency, pricing that reflects reality, and good record keeping because of taxation implication. Those are priorities. It's not limited to that, but
Yeah.
that has come out from this conversation today that we want our audience to take note. while we were on this conversation, we had a question from Bayode, and it goes thus: what specific actions have helped you reset and achieve better results after major setback? I think setback.
Okay.
What specific actions have helped you reset and achieve better results after major setback?
Okay. Um, Thank you very much, man. I think that is dated back few years, but I will tell you that was a time I was an assistant general manager in a bank then, and I was actually asked to go. They said service no longer required, which was a major one. So number one was that I actually spoke to myself before getting to the level of an assistant general manager. I started as an accounts clerk. So on and on before I got promoted. So I was looking out for the next job that will keep me busy and that will restore me back to where I was before I was asked to go. So I took up another job, and I will say it's quite funny, but um, why as an assistant general manager, my salary take home then was about 1.6 million. That was way back about 16, 17 years ago. And I had to go and take a job of a manager, and I was earning 159,000 per month. And if you look at that ratio, is it possible? But the fact is that I had to actually start earning something, and I need to work, and I need to add value. And that mindset, I was using a Prado then when I was an assistant general manager. I had to park the Prado at home and then start using a small car. That's a way by which I actually approach the future. And today, the same man is sitting before you as a CEO of an international organization. So I believe that actually answered the question. But the fact remains that I believe that my value is with me, that one day I would discover in the level back. And today I'm bigger than that level.
Fantastic. I think that's a good practical answer to that question. I have one from Taiwo Ojosumi from Abuja, um, asking a question that we all know too well. How can Nigerians do multiple, maybe have multiple source of income? She wants to say, do multiple source of income when most hours of the day is spent in the office doing job of 8 to 6, 8 to 6 p.m. That's what I said there.
It's very simple. You can actually do that. Today I said I'm a CEO and I'm a farmer. Does it mean that I'm using cutlass to go and actually be cutting the bush? No. I employ people who can actually cultivate the farmland for me. The same way, while you are spending your time in the office, somebody else could be working for you on the farm. And so also, we must find a way. There are so many opportunities today around us. POS, you could actually get somebody that can be operating a POS machine for you. Income will be coming from that. So there are so many ways. But if you need more advice, you can actually contact us.
Very, very nice and well said. Because
Yes,
they are investment companies, so they can actually help you.
yeah.
There's another question that we can quickly take. What is the best way to survive uh, different changes from government expectations? Okay, what is the best way to survive different changes from government, especially in the area of strategic planning, I believe he wants to say. What is the best way
Okay.
to survive different
I
changes?
think I understand what he's trying to say.
Mm,
That how do you survive
that's from Shegun.
the different changes from government?
Mm,
I've said it earlier on. Change is constant to life. And why change is constant to life? Also, we ourselves, we must actually learn to adopt our thinking faculty and also keep our thinking faculty working. For government reforms, there are opportunities that come from it. Even these tax reforms, there is opportunities that are within it. The only thing is that we must not shy away from actually thinking, because as a Christian, I tell myself I have opportunity of the brain to meditate and think. So also within the balance, we can always think. There are opportunities on planning. There are opportunities in execution. There are opportunities even in origination as well. So it depends on where you want to actually work, where you want even the benefit from, or where you want to add value. And the moment you add value, value is always contribute is always it has its other end. There is no value without a compensation, even to yourself. So it's a matter of you actually sit and thinking and think. And where you don't have that, look for how to engage in acquiring more skills.
very true. Please, media, can you display that question on how do you have a reset? Just put it on now. I didn't get that. No, not that one. Yes. There's a question. What are the key success factors and unique personal discipline that has helped you to focus and grow in a challenging business environment like ours when businesses are folding up? Maybe just one
Thank you
minute.
very much. That's very, very good. For us
Interesting.
at Serious Group Africa, we actually believe so much in governance. And when you have the right structure, you will be rightly guided. So the first is to have the right structure. And number two, when the structure is in place, like the Corporate Affairs Commission stipulates it that the board of directors must meet meet every quarter, 4 times in a year. We meet every 4 times in a year. Within that period, we always provide, we tell the board what have been the activities, what are the challenges we face, what are the opportunities that we have. And because we have experienced people on the board, those experienced people guide us on what to do and what actions to take. And when we need support, they give us the support. That's number one. Number two, internally, we meet on on regular basis. We have the HOD meeting every week. We have the ESCO meeting every month. We have the monthly performance review meeting every month. So we actually measure our activity with result, and so on and on. And then opportunities that comes, we approach it with discipline. What is not right, we don't do. And what we do, we ensure that we adopt every risk management technique into them before we do them. And so with all this, we have been able to actually navigate through. And then our doggedness and our consistency. And also, we actually stand before the customers to actually ask them. We do appraisals with the customer. Are we serving you right? Where are we not doing it well? They tell us, and then we adjust.
Fantastic,
Thank you.
fantastic feedback mechanism. Thank you very much for that. I'll just quickly, there's a contribution, it's not really a question, from Dr. Asein, that operating multiple streams of income in Nigeria is very challenging because of trust deficit. You hire people who want to cheat rather than work diligently and faithfully. This is a common thing that we all know, but what do? We can't still fold our hands. Do you have 1 minute to maybe give advice on that? Because many people
Okay.
are facing it really.
Thank you very much. In Cedros Group Africa, what has actually helped us is the fact that leadership, we are transparent. One of the things that make people not to trust is the fact that leadership are not transparent. And in transparency, we tell our members of staff, this is what we have as plan for the year. If we achieve this result, we will actually enjoy it together. And people have dedicated themselves, work conscientiously. Now, another thing is that most of the people that we work together are people that we have worked in our former life. We don't hire people on sentiment. We hire people on professionalism. Take, for example, I am the CEO of Cedros Group Africa. None of my family members work in Cedros Group Africa. And the fact remains that we don't want any polarization of our culture. We want people to work conscientiously and professionally. And if we see anything that is dissenting, we act on it immediately. We don't delay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This question has been flashing and flashing. That is the last question because of time. How do
Yes,
we balance accountability with empathy during a performance reset? How do we balance accountability with empathy during a performance reset? Just 1 minute because time is.
How to do it is to actually have good appraisal system. Period.
Okay. That's
Appraisal system that is
embedded
devoid of
empathy.
any
Sentiment,
any
devoid of
sentiment.
sentiment, then empathy. So how do we marry the two?
Well, in that sense, ma, what happened is that it is good, but professionalism has to actually come first among
Yes,
yeah. So
I
that's the
agree. I
balance.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Everybody just have to strive to do their best. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful response and great insight that you actually shared. Because of our discussion, I apologize upfront because I was taking the question. It's not all of you I'm able to recognize names. We had some people join us. Ayola Bayode, Koyinsola Taiwo, Tayo Akinyele, my sister Wendy Garuba, one of the regulars, Dr. Aseyin, who has also contributed, Taiwo Ojo from Abuja, Favor Aluka, and a whole lot of others. If I have not mentioned your name, it's because I'm trying to manage time. Forgive me, but we appreciate your joining. We hope you have actually benefited from this conversation, and we appreciate highly the great insights our guest has shared with us today. So I want to believe that all of us will be able to understand better what we need to do when we talk of reset and get momentum. Optimism without strategy is wishful thinking, and we must be willing to give what it takes if we want to succeed. You cannot rebuild momentum with yesterday's mindset. We have been told we need to change our mindset, or the change starts with our mindset. Resetting is not a weakness. If you need to reset, you reset. Nobody is watching time for you. It's your own business and it's
Yeah.
your personal goal. So it is wisdom to know when to reset. Don't say they will see it as a failure or a mark of no. That's not progressive. In tough economies, clarity beats hustle. we must be clear in our mind, not just rush and be seen to be doing something. You must be clear about what you are doing, and you must have the focus to be able to achieve what you want. So those who win don't wait for stability. What we've been saying all this while is that don't say because the economy is unstable, therefore you fold your hands or you wait until the economy becomes stable. There's no such time, because there's no Eldorado anywhere. So
Mm.
within that instability, you build your own progress. So don't wait for stability. They are built within instability. Like our guest said, there is certainty in uncertainty. In uncertainty. So when you talk of instability, there's stability in instability.
Instability, yes.
So I will leave our audience with this question to ponder on in their various place. What habit, what habit or strategy did you carry into this year that may no longer serve you? That is one. Are you reacting to the economy or responding with a plan? That is two. What is one area of your life or business that needs reset now? If the economy doesn't improve this year, what will you do differently? So this, if you can ponder on these four questions, it will provide you clarity and guide you on what to do. I will just say before final closing is that resetting is not about fear, it's about focus. The economy may be changing, but your ability to adapt is your greatest asset. The economy may be uncertain, but clarity, discipline, and intentional reset can still deliver results. Once again, I would like to appreciate all of you joining us, especially our special guest for today, Mr. Adeni Busayo. Thank you very much for your great insight. Our next
Thank you.
episode, which is equally interesting, is on when the economy is against you, how business leaders stay steady in uncertain times. I hope you'll be able to join us. And I hope you have enjoyed yourself today in this session. If so, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have done that, please turn on the notification button. Stay connected with information about upcoming events, solution, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, let us strive not just to survive, but reset for better results. Thank you all. God bless.